Hello and welcome. Ryan here from Fiscal, and today I'm going to take you through the Shopify integrations and setup. So from our dashboard, we can go to the integration on the panel, either search, scroll, or use the panel on the left. We can go to e-commerce and Shopify will be there. Right. Once you're in the Shopify page, you can select the plus icon and connect to Shopify. You'll get sent to your Shopify account where you can either log in, or if you are already logged in, you'll be sent to this page where you just need to install the Cin7 app. Let that load for a couple of seconds. And now we're given the setup page where we have to change the different settings as we want the two platforms to communicate with each other. So when would we like to capture the order on Cin7? I'd recommend when it is paid. Who is the customer? So you can select any customer, but this is the default customer from when an order is completed or when there's a transaction in Shopify. Who is the customer going to be attributed to? And so I would recommend using a Shopify customer. So create a customer called Shopify customer, and then you can select that customer for it. When would you like to consolidate the orders? We can consolidate them daily, and I'll consider, 2 a.m. is perfect. So every day at 2 a.m., my orders from Shopify will be consolidated in Cin7. And then we can use the company as a customer. So when there's a company from the sale order, we can use it as a customer when it is available. Then it'll ask you to choose the price tier, the sales price tier. So you have different price tiers. You have 10 different price tiers, and you can select which one you'd like to use for this Shopify store. So I will have e-commerce. Now let's say you have two Shopify stores. We can then have e-commerce 1 or e-commerce 2, and then select either one for the appropriate channel. Okay, process auto assembly. So now this is for the ordered quantity or for the minimum quantity required for picking. Now I would recommend the ordered quantity to keep everything whole and consolidated. We want to select the ordered quantity for auto assembly. However, if you do want to make it for the minimum quantity required order, this is where you would do that. We can show a comparison price on the Shopify store. And so maybe we want to show that there's an online store discount, for example. So then we can have e-commerce versus retail pricing. And that's the price tier that you would compare it to. Now, when an order comes into Cin7 from Shopify, how is it treated? Is it sent as a draft order? And so then in Cin7, will we have to go into the order, authorize the order, then manually pick, manually pick, pack, and ship, or how is it treated otherwise? So I will select auto pick so that when an order comes in from Shopify and it gets sent into Cin7, it automatically approves the order or authorizes the order rather, and then it automatically picks that order as well. Okay, you'll see that the enable partial fulfillment is grayed out. I cannot select this yet, and it is because we have to map the locations one-to-one lower down. I'll show you that in a little second. Okay, so send tracking URL with tracking number or without tracking number. This would depend on how you want to treat the order for your customer. Now we can move on to the account and cash settings. So the invoice status. So once an order is completed, is the invoice authorized or is it drafted? So I'm going to select authorized. I want to have as little manual intervention with my Shopify orders as possible. So I'm going to automatically authorize my invoices. We can list the product as draft. So when a product is listed or taken from Shopify when it's taken from Cin7 into Shopify, is it set up as a draft? So will I need to authorize the product in Shopify? And I will show you that in a little bit. But I'm going to select yes. So I can give you an example. Update the stock levels in Shopify. So correct. I do want to show on Shopify how much is available to be able to be ordered. Do we want to use buffer inventory? I do. So let's say I want to keep 2 units of, in general, I want to keep 2 units of whatever product I'm selling on Shopify. I want to keep 2 units as buffer stock. And I'll show you how this works in a little bit as well when we get to the product listings. So then, do we allow users to purchase out of stock items? We can select yes, and this is basically going to put items on a back order. And so once the products are then created created in Cin7, it will then be allocated or be able to be allocated to specific outstanding back ordered orders. Right. Okay, create a fulfillment in Shopify, even if a tracking number is not available. Yes, we do want to do that. Allow Cin7 to create Shopify products when Cin7 Core product names are not unique. Okay, so essentially what this does is if I have a product with the same SKU, for example, and different SKUs, same name, then it will be put into Shopify as separate products. And if that is not selected and they all have the same name but different SKUs, it'll only come through as one product and you'll have some issues there. So depending on what your operation is, I'm going to select yes because I have a few items with the same name but different SKUs. For example, a black shirt. It comes in different sizes, so the SKUs will be different, but they're all the same black shirt. Okay. Bring discount codes from Shopify. Okay, we can select that. Import duplicate SKUs from Shopify. Right, so we don't want any of our SKUs. We can't have duplicate SKUs in Cin7. They must be unique, and for that reason, I'm going to select that as off. Right, then the master data source. You can select source system, which means that if you've created a product in Cin7 and it gets pushed to Shopify, then Cin7 is the authority. But you can select either one of them. And the source system basically means that they can talk to each other and you can edit on Shopify or create on Shopify and it will be sent to Cin7 as well. So it's bi-directional. Whereas if you select Cin7, it's only going to push from Cin7. And if you select Shopify, then it's only going to push from Shopify. Right. But I would recommend source system for ease of use. Add company to the address. I'm going to select that as not. Location for online sales. Right. So where do we want where's the main location or the location that we're going to fulfill these orders from? It'll be from the main warehouse. Gift card liability account. So let's say you have gift cards enabled on Shopify. What is the liability account that we're going to be using? I don't have one set up, but you would create a gift card liability account in your chart of accounts on Cin7 or on your accounting software, and then sync with Cin7 and then sync with Shopify. Optional revenue account. So where, let's say you want to isolate your Shopify sales with your Cin7 sales or your POS sales, for example, then you would have different accounts for that. I'm not doing that, so I'm going to just select sales. So my sales from Shopify, my sales from the POS, they'll all go into that account. Now the sales representative name, I recommend using Shopify so that you can isolate the representative, or maybe Shopify this and the specific store. Okay. Add a discount as a price reduction or an additional charge. If it is an additional charge, what will happen is it'll come as a negative field or a negative field as the additional charge, but I would prefer to have it as a price reduction. Okay, then auto-retry sales order sync. I would select yes. Essentially what that does is it's going to automatically retry any sales or any sync errors that have occurred during the day. It'll occur at midnight. It'll auto retry at midnight. Now, when you order or when you lock the dates for the orders, this is for integrations. And so, for example, if you want to say for today, everything that in the past cannot be adjusted, then from today onwards, everything can be adjusted. Then we would have that lock date. Okay. Import additional products, properties from Shopify. You always want as much information as possible, and so I'd recommend to select that as on. What that will do is, as you have additional fields in Shopify, it'll come through in the comments section of your orders or of your invoices. Okay, then the payment reference, depending on how you treat your data, you can either select the transaction ID or the payment ID. I'm going to select transaction ID. Right, then you can move over to your mapping, your tax rules mapping. Then you can move over to your location mapping. And so we will select the shop location as main warehouse. Let's say you have a Shopify warehouse, like where all the products that you sell on Shopify are only in this warehouse, then that's what you would select there, and you would create that new location. And so now that we have selected a location, we can go back up to the top and we can enable partial fulfillment. But I don't want to do that. I want to only fulfill whole orders. Okay. And then we have to select a payment account, and that will be from the bank. Okay. So now everything is set up the way that I want it to set up. I will select save, but before I do that, I actually want to load orders from Shopify, a very important detail. So select on, select save, and once it is saved, everything is good. Now we can go into our catalog. We will get a list of the products that we have available to list. And so you'll see here there's there's the stock that I have in the location. There's what is actually going to be sent to Shopify. That's the sync quantity. Why is it less? It's because I have buffer inventory. Okay, and where's the price coming from? E-commerce. Okay, and we will get more in depth into the catalog and the listing and how to use Shopify, the Shopify integration in another video.